Limerick Today with Joe Nash on Limerick's Live 95FM.
6 weeks to success. And Margaret Culhan and Jim Hartnett are with us again. Good morning.
Good morning.
To you. And nutritionist Sinead Bradbury is back with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Joe.
I can't believe it, but we are very close to the end of this formal process.
We're very close to the end of one process and the beginning of another.
Exactly. Well
There
said,
you go.
Margaret.
It doesn't stop next week. It's the beginning of the rest of our lives because we now have to put into practice what we've been doing and to maintain it. And that's where the challenge, I think, will be.
Now, our partners in all of this, Fitzgerald's Woodlands House Hotel in Adair, and we are going there on Thursday of next week, the day before Good Friday, to have a chat with these two to do a big reveal. Isn't that right, Sinead? Tell us about that.
That's correct. Yeah, next Thursday in the Woodlands. All the experts will be coming together and finishing off these great contestants, great winners, to reveal to their friends and families how amazing they were and are and looking and feeling, and sharing it with everybody. So it's going to be very exciting, and it's just the end of the process. But as Margaret so rightly pointed out, it's only the start, because when you start looking after yourself and caring for yourself, you embrace life and you say, what can I do? Where can I go? You're calmer, you're more relaxed. Even Margaret was telling me on the way in about an incident at work, in relation to managing stress.
Yeah, well, I had a situation. I'm in business the last 11 years, and C&M training can be difficult at times, I can tell you. But we had a situation during the week, and if it had happened any time in the last 11 years, I would have had steam blowing out my ears, every pore in my body. They would have been murder. And you know what? All I could do was sit back, laugh and deal with it. So it's the whole diet, exercise, it has changed our lives. It is just the stress levels have gone completely down.
Do you
it's
find
about
that
feeling well.
I find the very same thing. I spent last year, because I'm not working, I was one of the people tied into the whole Dell thing, lost my job, and then decided to do something that I always wanted to do. That was to train as an EMT for ambulance work. I didn't get ambulance work. I didn't let it get me down. But there was an awful lot of studying in it, and I did find when I was studying that I found it a real strain. And what I've been doing continuously since finishing my studies and qualifying, I'm still reading my notes and still going over the notes, because I hope to do a instructor's course. And I have found, going over my notes, I have found them easier to take in. I have found it easier to retain information as well, and my memory is without doubt improved. And that might sound contrived some way, but it isn't. I'm much more rested. Like, I can wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, awake and just grand, fine, let's go for the day. Whereas in the past, I would have woken up 7 o'clock and said, "Oh look, I'd love another hour in the bed."
Yeah,
So, Sinead, there's a general message in the recession for this then?
Well, this is it, Joe. Like, I do talks in businesses about getting more out of your employees, increasing your productivity. We're in a recession. When you're in a recession, you need to get yourself out as much as possible and energise yourself. And when you're feeling well, you have a better thought process, you're more creative. And I've seen people, I even had a barrister client in with me yesterday, stress, obese, an awful lot going on. And he's on the programme now 3 weeks. And he said, I don't know what it is. He said, Sinead, I'm following this. This is going well for me. But my business is already improving. Like, empty units that he had are getting let. It's nearly like that this positivity can radiate into the rest of your lives when you start really looking after yourself. Because we're filling ourselves with toxins. And if you're feeling down and you're putting in junk food into you, you're only going to go down further. And when you turn your life around and start putting in good foods, start taking care of yourself, you have more time. Now, the ultimate in looking after yourself is by eating well. I mean, you can't really, and I always say to people, just come with me for 3 weeks, let's do it, let's see how you get on. And if you don't like it and you don't like the outcome, give it up. But if you do, I'm telling you, you'll want to stay going. And that's what it's about. It's touching on how good you can feel and the consequences it has on the rest of your life.
No, Jim, you're not going to tell us about weight loss this morning.
Yeah.
Because
It's on next Thursday, I think, is the big
reveal.
But I've been astounded at the amount of weight that I have actually managed to lose, and I've done it without feeling hungry, Joe. And this really, I keep on saying this, but it is the key for me, because I do not like feeling hungry. I was dreading maybe at the start. You know that ad that's on television where there are two friends sitting down to at the breakfast table. One of them switches the cereal for the cat litter. The lady ends up eating a bowl of cat litter. I had visions of eating some food that was bland, that was tasteless, and I'd still feel hungry. Nothing could be farther from the truth. I've not once felt hungry through the whole thing. And the secret to it is, as talking to both Lucas in the gym and Sinead in nutrition, none of them ever mentioned weight loss. What it was about changing dirty habits, changing routines, and as a result of that, the weight loss follows kind of naturally.
Now, Margaret, you brought us some prezzies today.
I did. I brought you some of the famous spelt bread.
Oh, lovely, Margaret. Thank
And
you very
just
much.
in case people out there think that we're not eating healthy, we certainly are eating healthy. So that's some homemade spelt bread. And I brought you a few,
That's
as
lovely.
Easter is approaching, a few free-range eggs all the way from Kilkenny.
All the way from Killeen. No better place for
And
free-range eggs.
Just for those people out there who haven't time to make their own spelt bread, they're very fortunate in Limerick because we have Sean's wholemeal, handmade spelt products. And he's out there in Ballysimon. And the
very good.
stuff, he has breads and they're packed in slices of 2 so that there's no wastage. And there are some lovely cookies as well.
And what makes this bread special?
Well, it's the spelt itself is an old ancient grain, and it hasn't been contaminated like the wheat that we're using, and
Yeah, well,
it's much healthier. It's a much healthier. It's you wouldn't notice the difference when baking with it. I really don't find any difference. I can make anything from it that I can with the regular wheat, and it's finer and it's just nicer and it's easier in the system and it's far healthier.
Fantastic. Well, 5 weeks, 1 week to go, and looking forward to meeting all of you out in Adair at the Fitzgerald's Woodlands House Hotel on Thursday. We'll be doing the whole programme from there, and I suspect we'll have an exciting story to tell. You'll be all dressed up as well.
And no place to go.
And
What,
no-
are you doing anything in particular
no
there on
place-
Thursday?
Yeah, that's right. You know what? I might just stay out there.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
Good
have
idea.
lunch. I'll scoff every bit of bad food going in the
You'll
store.
eat
be
all
sitting
the
there going,
desserts.
no, look, you can't eat that, Joe, and you can't eat that. So anyway, I behave myself. Nutritionist Sinead Bradbury, thank you very much, and continued congratulations to Jim Hartnett and Margaret Culhan.
you, Joe.
And we look forward to seeing you next week in Adair. Well done.
Limerick Today with Joe Nash on Limerick's Live 95 FM.